Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman. Happy to be joined by Stephen Murray, Beaufort City Councilman.
Yeah, thanks, Karen.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Excited to be here. Excited to be in Low Country Produce.
Absolutely, beautiful place to sit and learn a little bit more about what's going on in Beaufort. So there are a lot of things going on. I have a little bit of a complaint, though. I tried to get to my local coffee shop and couldn't get down West Street Extension. So tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, well, you know, with any renovation project, there are always some inconveniences. But hopefully, once it's finished, it'll be a great project for the city. Something that's frustrated me for a few years because of the trees that were planted along West Street Extension. And for folks at home, that is where the clock tower is leading into the waterfront park. So you've got the Lollipop Shop and Common Ground Coffee House and some offices there. And the tree roots had grown under the tabby pavers that we had. And so they're uneven. It proposed some tripping hazards. And in our goal to be a first-class, amazing city, we are attacking some of these projects. So we've cleared out all of the sidewalk there. We've cut down those trees because they've lived their life. And we're going to come back and put pavers and concrete and benches and hopefully be a nice, smooth access into the park. And we hope to have the project complete by the middle of May.
Okay, that was, of course, my question. It's like, what's the timeline and when is this going to get done? Yeah. But absolutely something that was much needed. And will be great once it's done. We just got to ask everybody to be patient while it gets done.
Yeah, please be patient. With any renovation project, especially a historic renovation project, last week, for instance, the contractor was in digging up the patio and hit a gas line that we thought was buried much deeper than it actually was. SC&G has been great to work with. They came out immediately, capped the lines off. So we're lowering those utility lines down so it's much safer. There's some stormwater improvements that are happening as a part of that project. And I'll remind everybody that the businesses are open. So Common Ground's open, the Lollipop Shop's open. You may have to go around from the back to access them. But please patronize those businesses. Just because we're doing some renovation projects, they still need your business.
Right. I made it there. It just took me a few extra steps, but I made it there. So there's like we said, more going on. There's also a new fire station that's already, the ground has broken on Rebo Road. So tell us about that.
We're moving along. So that fire station has been in the works almost 9 years. Council approved the contract with Fraser Construction about 2 months ago. And so Fraser is off and running. And that's on Rebo Road, right next to Love House Ministries, the bowling alley, and in between the Glidden Paint Store. So the city purchased the property there, and that's going to replace the fire station that's existing on Mossy Oaks Road.
Between the schools.
Between the schools. And that's one of the issues with that fire station. Not only is it sort of lived its life expectancy and is an older station, years ago they did a cost benefit and decided that building a new complex would be more cost efficient than upgrading that old facility. And there's some issues with fire trucks coming and going around both of those schools. So this is going to get it up on a main road in a central location, be safer for everybody, and it's going to be a beautiful facility. We have groundbreaking next week.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that. I had no idea what was going on there. I wasn't sure if Love House was building a new parking lot or not, but nice to know that there'll be a new upgraded fire station for the residents of the Mossy Oaks area.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. So we know that Council recently voted to restructure the Redevelopment Commission. So tell us about that and what sort of things the viewers out there need to know about what kind of change that we'll see here in Beaufort.
Yeah, so our Redevelopment Commission, the City of Beaufort's had the RDC is what the acronym we use, since the mid to late 80s. And it's taken several forms over the years. Its current form has been 8 private sector members with 1 council liaison. And that happened in 2008, 2009. Council has sort of felt like that commission has lost its momentum, and we needed to set some clearer goals, provide them with some resources, and sort of re-energize the commission. So we had a lot of conversations about what's the best way to do that, to do the re-energizing, and whether or not council members should be on that commission or it should be private sector folks. So last Tuesday before last, we actually voted. We're going to put all 5 members of council back on that commission with 4 private sector folks. We're hoping to get some staff support and some resources, and then set some very clear goals and expectations for what kind of work we'd like to see come out of the commission. Council has changed its focus on tax-based expansion and creating better primary jobs. I tell people in the city, it works a lot like our homes or like our businesses. We have revenues that come in and we have expenses that go out. And in revenues in the city, there are really only a couple of ways that we can raise revenues, and one's raise taxes, which I don't think anyone wants to do. or we can expand the tax base, and that's bring more folks into the city that contribute to help spread the burden on everyone. And so I think most of us on council think that the tax base expansion is the more prudent way to go, especially on the commercial side.
As long as it can be obviously balanced with the historic beauty and the preservation that we all love about Beaufort, but also give us some economic development that we really need.
Well, absolutely. There was some studies done in the early 2000s that has said we have a large percentage of property in the city that is vacant, especially in the historic district where we used to have homes, we used to have businesses, but they've been bulldozed and now there's vacant property. The city owns a commerce park of 160 plus acres that's basically vacant. So we have a lot of opportunity for infill development, and you're exactly right, finding the right balance of the types of buildings and structures and commercial development that fit with our goals for preservation and our goals for land use.
Yeah, I think that's what most people like to see, hopefully a balance between both of them.
Yeah.
So how can people stay in touch with what's going on? I mean, all these things that you shared with me, I maybe knew a few of them, but didn't know all of them. But if you're looking to get more information about what's going on the council and in the city of Beaufort, what's the best place to get that?
Well, we have a lot of great things going on at the city. We have a new city manager, we've got a couple of new council members, and we've been working very hard to make sure that we're being as transparent as possible, and we're sort of shifting our priorities, and that when we deal with residents and we deal with businesses in the community, we look at folks as customers. And how better, like we do in our organization, like you do at the Blood Alliance and like we do at Kazooby Kazoos, how can we best serve our customers? How can we provide better value? How can we be more transparent, communicate what's going on within the organization? So you've seen, we have a brand new website that's up at cityofbeaufort.org. We have a new Facebook page, so if you go on Facebook and type City of Beaufort SC, that'll come up, and that's a great way to find agendas, issues that are going on within the city,
meetings,
and to communicate back and forth. And I would encourage folks to come to council meetings.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have council Tuesday, the second, third, and fourth Tuesdays of every month at starting at 5 o'clock in City Hall.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah, city residents are paying a lot of money for that great, big, beautiful City Hall, and a lot of folks have never been in the building. So I encourage people to stop by and see what we do. Some very interesting things happen in our meetings. They're typically pretty casual and laid back, and we give the public an opportunity to speak if they'd like to be heard. But it's local government in action, and you have to be there and participate.
You do. That's what's called local government.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest again. We always appreciate all the insight and information you have to share with us. We'd love to have you back again next time when there's some new information to share.
Good.
Thank you so much for watching North of the Broad, and we'll be back with our next guest.